Tal, you have been having some exciting adventures in Skyrim modding.
Yeah, well, like I said, I like going back and playing old games. I recently talked about playing Ultima Underworld again. Did not finish it. That game does not age that well. But I still had a very fun experience, very nostalgic, really enjoyed that. But I decided to go back and play Skyrim because it's been actually about 3 years.
That old game?
That old bean.
That is a fairly old game at this point. It's 5 years old.
Well, so I just found a utility, and obviously it's been out there for a while, but I didn't know about it, where you could take I played it on Xbox 360, the first, playthrough, and I put in, I was up to like level 50. Right, playing it. So I was like, okay, I want to play Skyrim again, but I don't want to start over from square one. And I found out that I could transfer my save from my Xbox 360 to my PC. So I was like, oh, great.
wow.
Yeah, so I pulled over my Khajiit Stealth Archer, and I was like, I'll run around in PC because I want to see some of the mods for PC, because that's one thing I missed by playing it on the 360. And so I got into it this past weekend, and ended up pretty much this entire weekend playing Skyrim. And, again, I'm level 50, so nothing's like too challenging whatsoever. But I am having fun exploring, and of course I installed all the mods that you would expect.
And you can always tell when someone on your Steam list is doing this, messing with mods, because they just keep relaunching the same game over and over and over again.
So I'm sure you saw this weekend me do that. Yeah.
Tal is playing Skyrim. Tal is playing Skyrim. Tal is playing Skyrim.
So, the inventory mod was a necessity to have, right? But there were some great map mods out there that allowed you to, say, pull up waypoints for your actual individual houses so you could fast travel to those, and just other various things. But I also found my very favorite one was that as a companion, I found a sloth mode. So Sloth from the Goonies, you can have as a companion, and he'll just go, Rocky Road, and he actually has a little bucket of Rocky Road that he can give you that'll heal you for health. And he just goes up and he has a Superman shirt, he has his pirate hat. It is so very good. But he just punches enemies, and when he comes at them, he actually has the dragon shout. But it's a Fusro Da, but instead he goes, "Hey, you guys!" And it's just my favorite thing to run around, the world and have him as my companion, and we're just messing things up. And I'm standing back arching while he's like going in and fighting and doing the shouts, and love it. So it works really good. So just having a lot of fun with that game, but playing it in new and interesting ways, and that's one of the great things about mods.
Is there a UI mod that you're using in particular that you recommend?
Just Sky UI.
Yeah, Sky UI.
That's the pretty basic one.
Completely changed that game. I haven't messed with it in years. I imagine it's evolved since I played with it last. But like that.
The inventory management in Skyrim was the worst part of that game,
Yep.
right? Just that nothing was categorized. Everything was just a big bucket. It was just a pain in the ass when you had to go sell everything.
It was also built for consoles, so to be read from across the room. When if you're playing on PC, you're like up close and everything is giant.
Yeah. Sky UI fixes everything, and then it's been great. I've been really enjoying that. I think I've gotten to the point where you saw me loading it a lot this weekend. I got to the point where maybe I've have too many mods on there now, and I'm trying to back out, and maybe some conflicts are happening. So I may need to start over and just reinstall or whatever, and go back to just the mods that I want to use. But I found like the Sloth mod has worked perfectly for me, so that hasn't been a problem at all.
Are you using a texture mod?
I did a lot of texture mods,
ask him.
and especially ones on the cities to make them better. So they'll just add more people, more animals, more trees and things like that. It just makes it feel more realistic,
more alive, more like a place.
Yeah, so you go into Whiterun, and it actually instead of being so sparse and like 8 people in the village, you actually feel like it's a real place.
Still, the biggest problem with open world games, I feel like, is that they almost always feel like abandoned wastelands, even when they're not supposed to. Like, some of them are supposed to be abandoned wastelands, but even when they're not supposed to be, they often feel that way.
Well, back in the day, there weren't as many people. So.
Back in Skyrim times.
Exactly.
And even something as recent as...
Another super helpful mod that I'm using, one of the most helpful ones, is one that makes sure the books that you haven't read glow. So you can actually go into a place and, you go in and you see like 40 books out there. You're like, I don't freaking know which ones I've done or not. And, some of them give you skill boosts and stuff, but I just like kind of reading them too about the lore. And it's great because you see, a couple that are glowing blue and you're like, okay, I've never picked these up before. That's a really, really nice mod. So yeah, just little tweaks like that are really handy in the game. So I think I installed about 140 mods, probably a little much. I think I'm going to start.
Wait, is that
back.
an actual number?
Yeah, I think I literally installed that's a real literally about 140 mods onto my Skyrim game because I just fell into the hole. I fell into the rabbit hole.
What is wrong with you?
It gets
you have
so.
a problem.
I have an Iron Man companion. There's a Darth Vader armor sets. There's
So you weren't going for like any kind of thematic consistency. It's just like, hey, whatever's cool.
Whatever's
No,
there.
Exactly. I just wanted to, again, because I hadn't played it on the PC, I wanted a chance to dive in and see as many mods as I possibly could. I have like a Japanese house now up on a hill. But yeah, now some conflicts are starting because there's way too much. And even though I've gotten some of the programs, I think it's loot that helps you figure out conflicts, and then you're able to load your mods. It kind of figure out which one should be loaded where. I'm still having some weird crashes now, so I think I need to back out and only load about 20 or 30 that are super, super, super handy.
And I imagine you're shopping for mods in the Steam Workshop.
Yeah, exactly. Since I have it on Steam, I mean, you could go through. Oh, geez, what's the Nexus, right? Then you can go through Nexus as well. But I did a few of those manual installs. But since I already have Steam and I have Skyrim downloaded through Steam, just going through the Steam Workshop, it was just easier.
Yep, and like the advantage of still going to the reason why you would still go to the Nexus page is that you can get stuff on there that's not really compatible with Steam Workshop mods.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
it can get kind of a deeper level of access if they do things that Bethesda doesn't necessarily want them to do, and get kind of add-on toolkits kind of to mess with. So you can do a lot more if you're willing to get in there and really mess with
Then
it.
really dive in, yeah, exactly. And you can get whole new modules for that. I mean, you can get 20 hours of gameplay, of
Easily.
new quests and things like that.
There have been
individuals.
entire basically expansions created.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible
Yeah.
what the modders out there do.
What's the overall level of quality on those like fan made expansions? Is the writing
Very
actually pretty good?
high.
Yeah.
Even the writing
Well,
is good?
Well, I mean,
On some of them,
are-
yeah, absolutely. Some of them people have spent, 2, 3, 4 years on making these things. So I was talking to Dan about a mod for Total War Medieval 2, I believe it was. That was a complete Lord of the Rings redo. And I mean, they even had, obviously unlicensed, but scenes from the movie that would come in for cutscenes and great music and characters and voiceovers and everything. And some of the modders out there just do really high quality, super great work. So some of the stuff you can get is fantastic.
I think like voice work is generally where a lot of them kind of show that they're not actually a professional studio working just because they don't have access to the voice studios
I
and
will say
professional
though,
actors. Some of them do have.
There are some companions out there that you can get that are fully voiced, that are actually voiced by voice actors that they've worked with, or at least people who they know who are voice actors. Yeah, it's really impressive.
Yeah,
Now, there's some real crap out there, too. You have
imagine.
to weed through the real crap. And that's the great thing about Workshop, too, is that you can see the number of people who have it installed. You can see the general community rating on that. So I tried to get the higher quality stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff to sift through once you start going in.
There's also like entire collections that people have kind of bundled up into like an entire like recommended thing for mods, which is great because they've done the work of seeing what conflicts might arise for you.
And
so if you install a collection, you're probably not going to get a lot of conflicts.
And also what works together thematically. Like if you just want to play the best version of Skyrim, like the best modernized version of Skyrim, just what Skyrim is, but turned up to 11, that's like, it could take, if I wanted to do that, it would probably take me forever to find the exact right mods and the ones that won't conflict with each other.
Well, I think John Ryan did a roundup of some like how to make
you
Skyrim.
mean John Ryan of IGN Wikis fame?
That is what I mean. he did maybe he just did Fallout. I don't remember if he did Skyrim.
I think he did Skyrim.
He did Fallout 3 and he did New Vegas. I'm not sure if he did Skyrim. He probably did.
You're right.
Sounds like
I know he
would
did some Skyrim videos. But anyway, yeah, I mean, there's some great guides out there, too, for the things that you can install. And it's also very easy, even though I went beyond the lore. It's really easy to stick and stay within the lore with the things that are out there, but be able to beautify and modernize and make interfaces better and just generally make games work better with modifications.
Yeah, and it's kind
without
of
losing the true spirit.
It's a nice reminder. We look at on the console side, we see all the enhanced editions of games coming out. Skyrim and Fallout Bethesda hasn't bothered to do that.
Yep.
But even if they were to do that, like it would still not even compare to what you can do on PC and how good you can make it look and how flexible it is and how much better of a game you can make it with all these little tweaks and big changes to textures and effects and everything.
Yeah. Maybe they can do some tweaks to Metal Gear Solid.